Hi, everyone. Happy Friday, and welcome back to Naylo's Thrift Talk. I'm Lola.
And I'm Nay, and we have a very special pop-in guest today.
Oh,
What's going on?
Sorry. Is my
So Jason,
hi.
So Jason
my
is
phone
popping.
is rampant with bullshit calls, so I'm sorry, but it's off now. My bad. Hi, I'm here to help out. What's going on?
I thought that was a perfectly timed little background sound effect that you had planned.
I was telling Nay before you hopped on, I don't know what happened, but my phone number, I got over a dozen calls yesterday. Like, you want to buy your plot for your gravesite, and you want solar, and you want senior benefits, and I'm like, I'm 50. I don't need senior benefits. Go away. But the calls have just not stopped. It's crazy. My phone number is being passed around.
That's annoying.
Yes. I usually have fun with them. That's why I didn't turn it off, because I can talk through the mic. So I keep working and I tie them up so they can't mess with other people.
Oh, Angelique's asking if it was delayed for anyone else.
Right.
It was for me for a second. So yeah, I think. Nay, is it on your end, do you think? Weird. Okay. Well, hopefully that's
Okay. Yeah, so we will get to our first segment, which, oh boy, it's coming up. There it is. All right, so what thrifted items are Lola and Nay wearing today?
Jason, are you participating this week?
By accident. I thrift I never buy my tank tops new. I get them all at Savers. They're too big. But, during the day when I'm working, I like big, sloppy tank tops. So these are all found at Savers.
Very nice.
So not exciting, but thrifted.
Mine is also not exciting. So I'm glad Nay has a very cute outfit on right now. This is just one of my favorite t-shirts. I have probably worn it before. I got it at Circle Thrift in Philly. And I think it has a little hole under the arm now because I just wear it literally all the time. It's one of those perfectly broken in, it gets softer the more you wear it. So yeah. But Nay, it looks like you have more to talk about.
Yes. So this is not mid-century, it is 80s, but it reminds me a lot of mid-century art in the sense that a lot of it is abstract and, so it kind of reminds me of a mid-century art canvas. So that's why I wore it today. The brand is called Nicole. It is made in Hong Kong. So it's very 80s. Definitely the label is a tip off. And so maybe it's 80s does MCM. I don't know.
And that is a term you'll see sometimes on 80s dresses. You'll see 80s does 40s because it does have a lot of the same silhouettes sort of updated for the 80s.
Right. And then behind me, my mannequin has this is one of my personal dresses. I'm not going to pull her out because she will not go for last week and it'll be a disaster. But you can see the dress and that kind of that collar, that kind of smocked collar line. It's very, very heavy fabric. It is mid-century. It doesn't have any tags. I believe it might have been handmade. It's got kind of a sheen to the fabric. And again, it's very heavy. So I wasn't going to attempt to wear it today because of the fact that it's way too hot, but it looks cute on my Manny today. And it also leads into next week because next week we'll be doing on mid-century fashion. So that's kind of a little preview of our next week's show.
Fashion.
Oh, congrats, Ginny. She says she made her first sale on Poshmark. That's so exciting.
Oh, that's great. Good job, Ginny.
Woohoo.
And now moving on to our thrifted home decor items of the week. Lola, what do you have for us?
Sure. So I do have a couple more items that will come up in the rest of the episode, but I wanted to share something that I grabbed that's been in my bedroom at my parents' house for a long time. And I just realized that the camera flips the image. So, right?
Yes, it does.
It looks like it's readable this way than it is in real life. So this is a print block for a circus poster.
Oh,
And
very cool.
I did look up this circus, and if you Google it, a bunch of websites come up from like PETA saying that they're terrible, but it looks like they still exist. So I'm guessing this is from maybe mid-century, maybe it's a little bit newer. I could do more research on it because it does have a patent number on the back, so I could look up that patent number. But I know I bought this when I was in my late teens or early 20s, so I've had it for a while, and it was old when I got it. So, and I can't imagine that these posters are still printed this way anymore.
No.
So it has to be fairly old. Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, I used to just have this on my dresser as decor, and I haven't decided where I'll put it again now, but maybe along with a few little, like, I used to have it with my elephant figurines, so something like that.
Very cool.
And
yes, so I have, and I'm going to show you some comps for this. Let me show you those. Let me show you the mug first. So this is, and it does, I did not clean it first. I just unwrapped it. It was from storage, and it was wrapped in newspaper like they do in thrift stores sometimes. So I have to clean it. Those, I have to get the newspaper marks off. I hate it when they do wrap in newspaper because of that. So it's a little dirty, but you can see the bottom. It says Taste Setter Collection. And this is completely mid-century. And I think I have 3 of them. So it's an odd number, but I'll show you the comps on here. So this, so 5 of them sold for $89.99, but there is one, and this is not, again, this isn't a sold, but there is one that is, there's one up for sale for, if it comes up, there it goes, $50. So that's, again, that's not a sold, but somebody's asking, and that's the only listing I see. So I'm thinking I might take the opportunity, since there aren't a lot up right now, and this is the only, somebody else is asking 50 for one, since I have 3, I think I'm going to price them pretty high. I think I will sell them. I might sell them, per, as like a multi-variation. I'm not sure yet, but I have to get these out and list them for sure. And I also have, remove that. I also have this, which is it's a tray. This is very mid-century. I'm sorry, it's not. It's a trivet. But they make trays like this too, and they call them. A lot of people call them like vomit trays or vomit art. But these really are. Yes, it's something that people actually call them. But it's actually abalone shells in here, and the sticker on it. It says Color Flow, I think it is. So, yeah, so it's just a trivet, but this is very mid-century and not one of the things that we're talking about. So I thought I would show you guys that. And then our next segment is.
Hey, what about my thrifted home decor?
You have a thrifted home decor.
Oh, dude,
well, I just put it on my desk, and I'm like, yeah.
I totally ignored our guest. I was so rude. Let me take away this top thing because Jason is covered right now.
$2.99 at Savers. Bam.
Nice.
Is missing a couple though.
Oh my,
hilarious.
That is crazy. Is that like? So is that like a? What is it for? Was it like a dentist thing?
Or a dentist's office, right?
They're worth some money, but it's way worth more as the conversation piece on my desk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. Those are some yellow teeth. Let me tell you.
I know, yellow. We're missing them, but yeah. When I saw that on the shelf, I'm like, oh, that's coming home. That's not even a question.
That is so you. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Oh, Heather says they're her mom's. All right. Well, I got your mom's teeth.
For a steal, too, at Savers.
Yeah. $2.99, and I'm sure I had a 20% off coupon.
There you go.
Of course you do. I can totally see that. That would be something that you would keep, not,
Oh,
so if you were to sell them, what do they go for? Do you know?
I've had it for many years, but when I looked it up, I forget what I kind of figured it out. But yeah, it was something that you could get like $50 for. Okay, and it's more so, I think, for people who like oddities and kind of stuff. So, there's not like a real use for them other than whatever the dentist was using it for. So yeah, the rest of the customers are just like, I like teeth.
Yeah, the dentist is telling you, maybe an advertising for their whitening products. I don't know.
Could be. We'll fix your
that's great.
missing ones, you know.
Yeah. That is fantastic. Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry, I almost skipped over you.
Well, but Jason, if you had sold it, you could have been on this next segment.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Very true. So a good lead in, Lola. So, okay. So I have 2 entries this week. The first one is my own sale. So I was surprised at this. So I only sold it for $13, but I was very happy to get the $13 for this because it came in a plus size blue box that, and I sold, there were some other decent items, like a lot of Lane Bryant plus size resale is always a good thing. So, but the kicker about it was that somebody had kind of rudimentary the next one is this item, which is actually it is vintage pottery, but it's so abstract and ugly. So it is mid-century. Somebody took a best offer of it for somewhere around 18 or a little lower, but ugly sells. So
as a heads up, Nay, we were the whole thing was froze for a little bit.
Oh.
And obviously we just lost Lola.
We did. Okay. So
Yeah.
So
I thought it was me, and then I was watching the chat. The chat's like, is it buffering for anybody else?
Yeah, I thought it was my internet too. I was like, oh gosh, not again. My internet is not.
Was it all me or was it all of us?
It was the whole show.
Okay.
That's so weird. Okay, well, I disconnected and came back, but Jason,
I just went on because I thought it was me, so I was just like, all right, everybody's. But yeah, so this is an ugly dog, and
it is an ugly dog.
Yeah, but it's sold, and it is mid-century. That's why I brought it up today. So kind of fun, but ugly sells. Ugly. Yes, somebody loved him, and let's see okay. I think, did we freeze again?
No, I hear you. I see you.
Jason, are you intentionally not on video?
Oh no, what?
I can't see you. I just see a black screen.
Weird.
That's weird.
Okay.
I see all of us.
That's weird.
Okay.
Wait, am I the only one who can't see you?
Yeah, because I'm watching the feed. I see all 3 of us.
I am trying to get to our housekeeping segment. So I think, yeah, okay. All right, we're playing Brady Bunch windows now. All right, so Jason, this is your show. So next week, or Sunday.
Am I here? Because I'm watching the feed, and I'm black on the feed now.
I don't know what's going on.
I can hear you fine, so you can keep talking. Maybe.
Yeah, this is so weird. I'm watching the feed. Yeah, I just went to black. What the hell's going on? YouTube StreamYard. What is happening?
It's got to be a StreamYard issue. It's not our internet.
It must
then.
be. Yeah, it's not one of us.
So I think I'm gone from everybody.
Yeah, people in the chat are saying that too.
I will leave and come back. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Okay. So
sorry
guys. This has to be a StreamYard thing. Yeah. So so Sunday, since Jason is popping in, I wanted to show that he does a show called Selling Past Your Expiration Date, and that is going to be on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and they're going to be talking about Terapeak and Seller Hub this week. So, I got to add him in. Hold on.
Oh, he's back. There we go.
All right. You see me now?
Yeah. I can see you.
All right. Yeah. So real quick, Terapeak added new stuff. If you have not used Terapeak in the last 2 weeks, they added a bunch of new stuff. So even though we just talked about Terapeak in May, the new stuff is good. But also, if you're not paying attention, it could screw you up. It screwed me up a couple times. So I figured it could screw up anybody if you're not paying close attention. So we're going to go over those new changes on a Sunday.
Yes. And Jason, since you are not staying through to the end because you have a webinar to work on, did you want to tell everyone where we can find you?
Yeah, you can find me obviously over at the Thrifting board or on my YouTube channel, Jason T. Smith. TikiPugMusic.com will take you right to my eBay store. So you don't got to fumble around and try and figure out how to find me. I made it super duper easy. And those are all the rest of the places you can find me. Although I'm most active on eBay, Facebook, and YouTube.
Okay. So
As
Brian
said, you can find me in Vegas. Yes.
Brian said that he got booted from YouTube completely. So apparently there was maybe there was a YouTube issue.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm glad I saw my internet this time because I was a little worried.
Or mine.
Yeah. So I wanted to give a shout out to our friends Craig and Rick. They are two dogs digs on YouTube, and they also have a great subscription-based group called Kennel Club. They are Canadian resellers, but they have great tips for anyone who sells anywhere in the world. So, and their special guest, this is going to be this Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern on their YouTube channel, What Sold in July, and they're going to have a special guest who is also a friend of mine, Becky Joyce. So definitely tune into that. And here is their YouTube channel, which is Two Dogs Dig. So very fun. They are great. They're great friends of ours. And next week, we're going to be back with talking about mid-century modern fashion bolos. So, or mid-century, not mid-century modern really is like decor and home and home items, art and whatnot. So mid-century is, basically the timeline, we'll talk about that in a minute, but the timeline is a little sketchy, but it encompasses basically like the 40s through the late 60s, kind of, that. So so we'll be talking about 10 fashion bolos. We thought we'd do kind of a part 2 of this show. So that's next Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And we're going to move on to our main topic, which is 10 bolos. And we will, Jason's going to hang for the first couple because he has some great stories. And I knew about some of his sales, and I asked him this week, I'm like, can you please pop in and talk about it? Because it's epic. Like the one thing that he sold is absolutely epic. So this is an article, and I did actually link in the description. I put all of the links from this week's show in the description, so you can find all of these. This is a great read, but it talks about why everyone is so obsessed. The world's so obsessed with mid-century modern design, and it also talks about the timeline too. So it talks about how it broadly describes architecture, furniture, and graphic design from the middle of the 20th century, roughly 1933 to 1965. Though some would argue that it's limited to 1947 to 57. So there's a gray line. I would say, I personally think like 40s through like late 60s is kind of.
Yeah, like if you're using it as a keyword, I don't think you have to be so strict about it.
Exactly. So, but that's a great read. So check that out. And also so we talk about mid-century modern. We are talking this week about vintage, specifically items that are from that era. And the great thing with that is that when you're thrifting, you can bring it back to life. It's in the thrift stores. It's at, estate sales and flea markets and yard sales. It's there. It's still alive. But there is a big revival of newly manufactured items, which are retro, not vintage. So they're not really MCM. You would have to use the keyword retro. But this talks about that and how there is a revival. And this article is all about modern made items, which, have that same look and feel, but they're not true vintage MCM. So, and
I think they're really popular right now, partially just
the banner here.
You think about people who are living in cities, they're living in like smaller apartments. And that was one thing I loved about MCM furniture when I was living in Philly, was that we had a really narrow row home, and mid-century furniture just fit better. It was easier to find smaller scale furniture.
You had some great stuff in your old house, Lola, and I loved your couch, and it broke my heart that you guys had to actually chop it up to get it out.
Well, it was me too. It was really damaged. The cats kind of did a number on it, so unfortunately, it was time for that to go. But we got most of our mid-century furniture, and we picked up a couple new things when we moved too. So still one of my favorites.
And you're now living in a mid-century modern bunker.
We are living in a mid-century modern apartment. Yes. Very 60s, very Cold War era.
And does it have mid-century modern heating and cooling too?
Thankfully, I would say that the insulation is not very great, but the heating system works just fine.
All right, cool.
That's what matters.
We got a 1957 refrigerator.
We do have a older like cast iron stove, or not cast iron, but what's it called? Enamel stove. That's the word.
Cool.
That is a little mid-century. Yeah.
So our first item, which Jason is hanging for, is Herman Miller and Eames chair. So Eames is it was signed by Herman Miller, which is an office and chair and furniture company, which is still around today. And they still today create a lot of items that are very retro throwbacks to the mid-century era. So Charles and Ray Eames, this is just a little bit about them. I did put this link as well in the description. But basically, they actually were commissioned by the Navy during World War II to develop splints and stretchers using their molded plywood technique. And it caught the attention of Herman Miller. And they started designing they first introduced the Eames molded plywood chair, and it was really innovative for the time. You'll see a lot of plywood, a lot of wood, a lot of teak, some stainless steel as well. But in 1956, they introduced a chair and an ottoman, and these chairs became absolutely infamous. And I do have some comps after Jason talks about his finds, but they can sell absolutely in the thousands. They are treasures. So if you are at a yard sale or estate sale, even a thrift store, you never know what you're going to find, you know? And so this is a picture of, and everything seems to be taking a second. I'm not sure why, but okay. There we go. So Jason, do you want to tell us about these?
So these are Herman Miller chairs from 1979, I believe. This is when they were still dangerous and only had 4 legs. Nowadays, all these wheelie chairs have to have 5 legs, so you don't kill yourself. So my neighbor and I were at the Riviera liquidation sale. The casino closed down. It was being torn down. So everything had to sell. And when you go to these liquidation sales, they tell you you're allowed to go here, here, and here. Well, I always tend to wander off and go other places because why follow the rules? Who cares? So we ended up in the executive offices, and they were still using these chairs as the daily chairs to sit in for their meetings. So this was about 6 years ago. So in the 2000s, these were still their go-to chairs. Oh. And I didn't notice them right away because my ass was in one of them because they had the phone system on the conference table that has the 3 like prongs, and that's for when you do conference calls and stuff. And so I was telling my buddy, I go, hey, look, we got to get this phone system. It's worth about $300. And then he was going to unwire it, and I walked down to the next office. And when I came back, he had the chair I was sitting in upside down on the table and said, hey, these are Herman Miller. And bonus, they were owned by Vidal Sassoon before being owned by the casino, because Vidal had a placard on the stem, the bottom of the chair, and it said property of Vidal Sassoon, and there was like a little barcode. But then obviously he somehow sold them to the Riviera, and so we've sold a few. We had a bunch more, and I've been lazy. I got to get the rest sold because these are $1,000 chairs.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah. Amazing. So some of them, the upholstery was a little beat too, right? Just one.
Oh. Now here's the tip. So where I found these, they were probably the furthest point from the checkout stand. And when they said, if you find anything without a price, bring it up to us and we'll price it. So we weren't going to drag a chair. You know, it was like a 20-minute walk back to where we needed to be because the casinos are huge. And so I noticed that one chair was beat to death and the others were actually very good. So I took a picture of the beat chair and I walked back. I go, hey, I want to buy 14 of these. How much? And he saw the picture and he goes, $50 each.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, absolutely. Here's all my money. Take it. Thank you.
Oh my, that is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I remember the story, but I didn't remember the whole thing. And that's just like,
and then the end of the story is we couldn't take them that day because we didn't have the vehicle to take 14 chairs. So I said, all right, I'll come back tomorrow. And they locked the elevator that took us to the offices And so I go back to the front. I go, hey, I got to get my chairs that I bought. The elevator's locked. I'm like, well, we can't unlock it now. You just want your money back? No, I wanted those chairs. So those chairs stayed locked for like 3 extra days, and we finally got them. I load them in the back of the truck. Hasn't rained in 4 months, and we're driving home and it starts raining. I'm like, come on. This is not even remotely funny at this moment. But yeah,
crazy.
so I've sold a good handful of them, and I gotta get the rest of these sold because basically I have about $6,000 sitting around my garage. 6,500.
Yeah, I didn't realize you still had some of them left. So you're selling them locally?
None of them went locally. They went to either LA or Chicago so far.
Okay.
Interesting. So and you mentioned the number of legs on the chair. Is that a good way to date them?
Yeah, I don't know what the exact, there is an exact year where all the companies had to add that 5th leg.
Yeah.
And so when I sell these, besides selling them as Herman Miller, besides selling them as previously owned by Vidal Sassoon from the Riviera, I say they're the dangerous 4-wheeled ones. So if you want to live life on the edge,
but it seems like so to some collectors, that's a selling point that they would want either the older one or just because it's rarer or it's unique because it's now illegal to make them this way.
But can you imagine they didn't buy a new office chairs for the executives for 40 years? That's the thing that boggled my mind. It was their daily meeting chair.
But those are some hardy chairs. I mean, those are made.
They are, but you would think at some point, like, executive of a casino, I need $1,000 brand new chair. That's the kind of thing that happens in this town. So it was just such a shock to find those. And luckily, we went off the beaten path, and the door may or may not have been locked. But here's how I look at it. The liquidation sales where they're going to be blowing up the building, I might break into a door or two because what's the worst they're going to do? Kick me out? I mean, this building is going to be rubble in 3 weeks, so it's not like I'm damaging a building that's staying around.
Yeah, very true. Very cool.
I wish I don't know where they were, but they had starbursts in the walls when you walked in the Riviera. So here's the tiles, and at the corner of all 4 tiles was this starburst. And so I'm walking by one day, and I had a big hammer and a big screwdriver, and I just started chipping these starbursts out of the wall, and everyone's just looking at me. I'm like, they're blowing it up. They don't care. They're gonna say $2 each, and they'll be happy to get extra money. I'm thinking outside the box.
Yeah,
and did they tell you the starbursts?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, and they said $2 each. I go, okay, cool, thanks. They're here somewhere.
That's amazing.
So these are a little bit older than actual mid-century, but they kept the same style. So you can't technically say that they're mid-century, but you can say they're mid-century style for sure, because in the 70s, even today, they still have that style. And I do have a few comps to show you guys for. Am I echoing?
A little bit.
I don't hear echo, so that's weird. It's weird. Lola hears it and I don't.
Yeah,
YouTube or
something is just weird.
Not being nice.
Let's see. Okay, so this is actually a newer, but it's a newer brochure. But you can see that even the brochures sell, and we'll be talking about ephemera a little bit too. So.
Good tip.
Yeah. So I hear myself echoing. Yeah. So here's one that let's have a picture. I don't know why. Okay, there. Okay, so this one sold for somewhere upwards of 600.
So that even seems low compared to what Jason was saying. But Jason, yours.
Well, so this is the one that this is a 1950. This is right around the original time that these were made. So this is a lounge chair and ottoman. So this went for 6,500. So
dang.
Yeah, so if you find
that wasn't even best offer.
You never know, because people don't always know what they have too. Here's one that's kind of similar to yours, Jason.
Yeah, but look, it's got 5
leg.
That's the 5 leg. So this is a newer one, but this one sold for $12.99. And then there's one here that there we go. Okay, yeah. So I wanted to show you also that just the parts, you can part them out too. So just the parts will sell. So if you have something that's completely unsalvageable, I don't know, maybe it's, I don't know, it's completely trashed, you can part them out too. So just the base, this was a Herman Miller. No, this isn't from a chair, but this from an aluminum Herman Miller base of a Eames table. $219. So, and interestingly, the bolts from the chairs also sell. So here are just
Wow.
4 vintage bolts from those chairs. $35 for bolts, but they're Herman Miller bolts, so you never know. And then our next item is, sorry.
It's such breaking
Everything
news. We
is
got to break into the middle of the list.
Yeah, breaking news, yeah. Lola, can you get the banner up for me?
Yep.
Thank you. So, okay, so this is our second one is lighting. Okay. So this is an article I did list this. I did put this in the description as well. This is from Atomic Ranch. And this is just some ideas of how to collect mid-century lamps. It tells you a little bit about what to look for, the silhouettes of them. Very sleek, very modern. A lot of them are very minimalist, but some of them are a little more eccentric, which I'll be showing you. Jason also knows a lot about mid-century lighting, because in his house, if you've never been, I've been to his house. It is like a museum, a tiki museum, and he has lots of great mid-century lighting. So this is the first one. This is in your this is hanging in your living room.
Well, we call it the den of sin, but yes, a normal human would call it the living room.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
I call it the den of sin. So this was a crazy purchase. It is a vintage Sputnik lamp. I don't know the brand. I don't even know if it's on there, but we had answered an ad, and this was back in Craigslist. So this was like 15 years ago here in Vegas. We'd answered an ad for a bamboo tiki bar, and we met the guy at his storage unit, and my parents happened to be in town, so they were hanging out with us. And so he wanted $300 for the bar. And this is very uncharacteristic of Stacy. I'm trying to haggle for the bar, and Stacy's in the back of his storage unit digging around going, is this for sale? And that is so, if you know Stacy, that is not Stacy. And she pulled this lamp up, and he goes, no, I don't want to sell that. So cut to the end, we leave with the lamp and the bar for $275.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't remember our tactics, because of course we weren't planning on finding something else. So Stacy and I, went after him and, trying to cut deals. And as we drove away with a lamp and a bar, I'm sure he was going, wait, what the hell just happened? I didn't want to sell a bar for less than $300, and I gave up my lamp, and it's down to $275.
That is great. That lamp, I bet you could sell for a lot if you were going to.
Yeah, but it's so perfect, because that's one of the few rooms in our house that didn't have a ceiling fan, and it had some, whatever light was there was just dorky, typical, suburb lighting. So we had a friend, I think my neighbor who can do wiring real well, come over and put it up, and boom, been there ever since.
Beautiful.
And what's nice is it's on a dimmer. So when we need to like vacuum and clean, full brightness. When we're having people over, very dim. So my mom found this one with the lampshade like that. Just absolutely amazing. So if you're unfamiliar with these lampshades, they'll come in a variety. This is a 2-tier. There's 3-tier. I think there's a 4-tier. Even if you just find the lampshades alone will get you a lot of money, because those are the pieces that tend to break first, that tend to get crushed and stuff. So my mom found this quite a long time ago, but and it wasn't expensive. I meant to ask her, but my parents are insane. They drove to Maryland for crabs for lunch. They live in Ohio.
Oh my, really?
Yeah. So I was trying to talk to her, and they were in the car. I'm like, oh, I forgot you guys are driving 8 hours for lunch. Okay.
Well, not your 70-something-year-old people. So.
Yeah, my sister is with him, so she was driving when I called.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
But I think my mom paid $50 for this lamp, and I mean, I am sure I could get an easy anywhere from $300 to $500 for this lamp with this shade.
Yes, absolutely. I would think so.
And my folks shipped this to me, and as you can see, it showed up very nicely.
Awesome.
Because that's not something you can take on the plane.
And it's not actually, I actually think it's awesome, but some people would call it a monstrosity. So this is what you would call a vomit lamp. Kind of akin.
Kind of. Yeah, we call them chunky lamps. Some people call them swag lamps. And the funny thing is, every tiki person wants these in their bar. I find so many that I thought everyone found that many. We have probably 6 hanging up, 2 in the garage that need some work, and I've sold one on Pawn Stars. And every one of my tiki friends are like, "Why'd you sell it to Pawn Stars? I want one." I'm like, "Wait, not everyone finds these. Like, I find them everywhere." And so the thing about people who collect tiki stuff and even just mid-century modern people, they'll hang like 7 of these in one room. So, if you're in a normal household with lamps, you'll have maybe an overhead and then a couple in each corner, one in each corner or something. But the more lighting, and it's all very dim, the better. So people will have many of these. So you keep your heads up for the chunky swag lamps. And if the wiring's shot, no biggie, because they sell the replacement wiring. It's all about the chunk.
Very cool. So the swag, it means that it's on that chain. It's like it's hung from a chain, yeah. Correct? Okay. It will come up. Everything's just taking a second. There we go.
Yeah, I almost forgot this one. My friend Dawn gave this to me because she wasn't using it. It's one of those with the spring-loaded top. So you get it under the your ceiling and let the spring pop back up. Oh, and cool. The top thing works and both side lights work. The problem is I have way too bright of light bulbs in there right now. I need to get way more dim because it's really it's one of those things where I didn't need it, but she gave it to me. I'm not going to pass it up. And so it's just accent lighting. But even just to have without the lights on is such a cool piece that we absolutely love it. So yeah, make sure to look for those on the pole with the spring, and that way that you can fit it into a variety of heights of rooms.
My in-laws have one of those. I've been looking for one ever since I saw theirs, and I have had no luck. So one of these days, maybe I'll come across one.
Very cool. That art also has a very mid-century vibe to it. Very cool.
Yeah, that piece, someone just listed it. Not that I'm selling it, but someone just listed it for $2,500. Wow. It's rare. I don't think it's $2,500 rare. And when I got mine, I think I paid $75 for it.
Wow.
Nice. Amazing. And then I think we have one more.
And I'm pretty sure Mom found this one too. I would like to take credit, but I think Mom found this one. So this is the Atomic Starburst shade, and that's what's called the spaghetti. The bottom part's spaghetti. And so the light lights up at the top, and then the ball down below also lights up. You could have both on, one on, both off. So when you find these kind of lights, there's a lot of these lights where the base also has a light. Make sure they're both working, obviously, and even if they're not, if you're handy or if you're going to just sell it as is, make sure to let the customer know that the base light isn't currently working. So, but these are the kind of things, like, again, this shade would be worth a lot of money all by itself. Luckily, we found it all together. And yeah, we definitely don't need any lights in our house. But man, when you find stuff, you're like, all right, where can I work it in?
You just have the most amazing lighting, though. It's just yeah. Lola, you've never been there, but I've been to Jason's house, several times, and it's like a tiki museum, but the mid-century and the art and everything. It's just it's an amazing site, and I am very careful not to break anything because there's things to break. So yeah, I stayed overnight there, and I was like, and I remember he was like, well, I don't think I'm going to give you the couch because you might get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and knock something over. No, because he knows me. That's very accurate, So.
We have, obviously hundreds of tiki mugs on display. My mom and dad came to visit once, brought their childhood friends. So they've been friends with this lady since they were like in kindergarten. And so they're all in their 70s at this point. She brings her husband, her current husband, and I walk past her and she's on my laptop Googling ceramic repair, Henderson, Nevada.
No.
And I'm just like,
oh no.
I go, hey, Judy, what you doing? She goes, you're probably not going to be happy. I go, yeah, based on your Google search and my house full of ceramics, probably not. So she picked up a tiki mug that had a lid. She didn't realize there was a top to it. So she turned it to look at it like this, and the lid fell off and smashed on the tile.
Oh, no.
And I wasn't going to yell at my mom's 70-year-old friend, but I pulled my mom aside. I go, the 4-year-old across the street? She knows to look with her eyes and not her hands.
Well, yeah, I would never see that's one thing. Like, I would never touch. I was like, I am not going anywhere near those mugs because that's crazy.
Yeah. So,
yes, you are a hardcore collector. So not a house for someone who's clumsy like me.
Or a big dog or cats.
No,
Yeah.
that's
My
cat.
cats would not do well in your house.
No, it has to be a pug that can barely reach up and their tail don't knock stuff off.
Oh yeah. So here's one that sold. This is Murano. You've heard of Murano. This is a gorgeous chandelier. This sold for $3,500. And then
Brian wants to know how much was that tiki mug?
Well, she found a place, and I did not know if you are a good ceramicist, the repairs you could do. Because when you look at it now, you can see a little hairline thing, but you would never know it was in multiple pieces. Never. It's amazing how well they'd fix it.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So it was salvaged in the end.
Yeah. So, happy ending.
Oh gosh, crazy. This is kind of a cool thing. So this is kind of like one of those lava lamps, and this one sold for $178.50.
Very cool.
That was a bitchin' lava lamp.
Yeah, it was very cool. And then I love this. I love the glass look. Yeah. So this is, and you can see the teak wood, which is a common theme in mid-century items. It sold for $289.98. I'm actually surprised it didn't go for a little more. I think maybe they had some better pictures, and I think they could have sold that one for a little more, but that's a beautiful lamp. And then, everything's just like lagging, but it's loading, so it will come up.
This might go without saying, but if you're selling any type of lamps, mid-century or not, make sure, like this picture, to put them on.
Yes.
A lot of people sell lamps and never take a picture of them actually on.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to take a picture of it off and on so you can see the details of the shade. And then, so this one is a swag. Yeah, so this is hanging, and this one sold for $289.99. And then I have one more comp. This one, I can't remember which one this was, but I reload it. All right, that one's not coming up. Well,
psych.
I think it's a swag light, though, another swag light. And I wanted to show the one that isn't coming up. Actually, there it is. It was poor photos. They really didn't have the best photos.
Geez. Wow, yeah.
But, and it sold for, it was a sale from Canada, and it sold for $285 and or $228.97. So I think this is a good example where if they had better photos and they did a better job of their listing, they probably could have sold that for more. So, and Jason, if you want to out, because I know you have a presentation to prepare. Thank you so much for your time and your expertise and for sharing those stories. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I'm always happy to share a story and help. If anyone's got any questions, hit me up. I'll be happy to help. I will watch the rest of the show, but I'm going to go start working on my webinar.
Thanks for stopping your webinar done. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye. All right. So I'm gonna kind of go through these as fast as I can now. So
the banner.
Yeah, I got the banner here. So the next one is flatware. So if you look at, this is a Pinterest.
Oh no, did Nay freeze? Or is that me?
Page, but you can see and a lot of it is Danish or Japanese inspired. And if you remember from our home decor trends episode, I guess it was maybe a couple months ago. Am I dropping out?
Yeah, I'm still not sure if it's
going on here. Okay, so if you okay,
so weird. It just like caught up. You were like in fast motion, like fast forward.
Yeah, so weird. I don't know what's going on. But so if you look, if you remember our home decor episode about trends a couple of months ago, we talked about Japandi style, which is a combination of Scandinavian and Japanese. And a lot of the flatware kind of echoes that. It is, a lot of Danish, Scandinavian, and Japanese inspired designs. So you'll see, you can kind of get an idea of the silhouettes from it. Just, do a Pinterest search. And
Nay, I just had a thought. What if we do half of this episode now and then do half of it next week?
If you want
Since it
to.
seems like we're having some issues with the connection.
Yeah, if you want to do that, we can do
And
that.
then we could maybe fold it into our the rest of our episode next week. So do half MCM decor and half fashion. But I would hate to miss all of the research you did on this because we're having connection issues.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine if you want to do that. Yeah, I guess we could do that.
Yeah, since we got to enjoy Jason's part already. So
yeah, I mean, maybe we can just do the other show the following week. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could just delay it. I'll push it all back a week and give this topic.
Yeah, because we're only on the third entry now, so we can. I could finish the flatware next week.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. Thanks everyone in the chat for bearing with us.
Let me go to the end. Hold on. Let me go to, because I could do our market report and our.
Yeah, we can see the final segments.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm getting there.
Oh, take your time.
Okay.
Heather,
right,
for everyone who's watching this later, Heather in the chat has some great specifics also in the chat. So Paulson for lighting, Dansk.
Yeah, and I was getting into that. Yeah, that was some of my examples there. Yeah, so we can do that. We'll do a part 2. I'm trying to hide that. Sorry.
Yeah.
We can do a part 2 next week and go through the rest of them. And yeah, and then we could do our fashion the following week. I guess that'll work.
Yeah,
because we already almost at the top of the hour. So
yeah.
All right. So we have some breaking thrift looking cash in on the trading card boom, which this is an article. This is actually from CNN. It comes up. Oh, see, now we're lagging again.
Yeah. Something's going on.
Geez. I know, it's a shame because yeah, it seems like it is a YouTuber because I see it on my screen.
Like it might be, yeah, it might be YouTube because I know Brian said that it was YouTube being an issue for him, so it's not just us on the StreamYard side.
Yeah. So this is actually on CNN, and basically they are, I think, so eBay unveiled new tools on its site on Thursday for trading card enthusiasts, which include which like Pokemon, Garbage Pail Kids, and all of that. So the new feature makes it easier for users to track the value of individual cards and list them for sale on eBay, as well as manage their collections. The tools make it less cumbersome and more transparent and streamlined. So if you are a trading card seller, let us know how that is. I don't sell trading cards on eBay, so I can't attest to the new feature.
If anyone's watching this and wants to help us with an episode on trading cards and eBay, it seems like there's been a lot of attention on eBay lately on trading cards, and it's totally outside of our comfort zone. So I would love to hear the inside scoop on that if anyone wants to come on for a whole episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have a question for you. So we want to know what your MCM. Oh, actually, you know what? I didn't do our market report. Hold on.
Well, you can still answer our question, though. Your MCM Holy Grail or best thrifted find, whether you're still looking or you found it. Love to hear. It seems like Heather already shared hers because she talked a little bit about selling to the Louvre in France.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so this was an exciting sale because it's an item that I think I shared this exact example on a previous show, either one of our denim episodes or Y2K fashion. And also, Nay, you did the whole haul of your unearthing your personal collection, which this could have easily been in that lot. So I actually thought it was interesting. I got a ton of watchers on this item when I had it listed on eBay, but only 2 likes on Depop, but then it sold on Depop. And I had listed it for 35, haggled a little bit in the messages with the buyer, and she was happy to accept. We were both happy to accept 30, sort of met in the middle. So yeah, it's an example of a denim blue box item. So I paid, I forget exactly how much it comes down to per item for those, but I mean, a few bucks. And it was a Faded Glory pair of jeans, which is not a high-end designer label by any means. It's, even when these were made, it was probably, you know, already lower end at that point. Because
yeah, I mean, new these would have been like 15, 20 bucks in Walmart. So
new, yeah. So
but it goes to show that style matters. Yeah,
exactly.
So I sold this to a buyer in Australia, which was kind of cool. And I just sold a blank page. Yeah, it's coming up. There it goes. Okay. So I sold this hat to it's a Harley Davidson hat. So I did get this from Thrift to Use. So I spent $1 plus shipping for that order. And it was a leather hat. I did include all of the measurements. You have to include the circumference in a hat like that. And it did have some wear, which I noted. And I sold it for, I took a best offer of 25 bucks plus shipping to Australia. So not bad. Nice little sale. And then it will come up. Oh, Angelique also, I do have her, she had a comment in the chat there that I'll address in a second. So I sold this is a Nanette Lepore top. It was lace. It was really pretty. And Nanette Lepore does not sell as well for me now. It was,
I was going to say,
pretty, yeah.
That's a brand I've started to pass up. So that's a great sale.
Yeah, so I sold it for $34.69 plus shipping. So that was not bad. And Angelique, can you pull up her comment about the item that she sent? I do have a picture of that to pull up. So here it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is Angelique's sale, her mid-century. She shared this with me right before the show.
Ooh,
so
very cool.
Yeah, so $125. Nice sale, Angelique. Very good. And yeah, so I guess yeah, so that's Jason's. Where can you find us? Okay. So you can find us all over. We are mostly Run Lola Run or Thrifty Nay. And on eBay, Fulbright*Dazzle@gmail.com. We have gotten some great emails. We got a couple emails from a viewer this week. Her name is Joan, and we appreciate those emails.
Yeah, we always love hearing.
And yeah, so if you have any suggestions, any ideas, yeah, or if you want to be a guest, we would love having guests. So. All right, so hopefully next week. I'm not going to put up the art again because we'll do that show in 2 weeks. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye.